am Eric Zane, and
I'm Christian Bladt.
We do a show called Who Are These Broadcasters?
Check it out every Tuesday at 2 p.m., 11 a.m. Eastern.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. Sorry. That's what he does? How lame.
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATB with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time.
Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Yes, welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters for our live audience. Thanks for tuning in at our special earlier time. Everyone else, where the fuck were you? We got up early. You should have. I'm Christian Bladt. He's Eric Zane. Eric, I'm very excited. I texted you yesterday that we'll be sharing a couple of my favorite videos, and I don't want to oversell it, but I'm even happier about a new one we got. So I'm excited to take everyone through the world of broadcasting. But first, explain how Super Chats work on this show.
Well, thank you very much, Christian, and thank you for having me once again. Excited for the show, as you said. And the way we do it is if you want our very own Christian Bladt, who obviously you can't even get a pin up this guy's ass, if you wanted to say something that might make him squirm otherwise, for him to say on his sign-off, you just attach a Super Chat with it, and then you write down exactly what you want this sweet young man to say as the sign-off for the show. We go with the highest dollar amount on that, U.S. dollars. So maybe wait till the end, maybe drop it in during the show. Or if you just think that we're actually doing an amazing job, which is every time we speak, you can go ahead and give us all the money you want. We can go full steel toe on this. Thank you. That's stolen. I heard that from you first.
Yeah, that's all right.
We could steel toe it at any time. And I think that needs to actually be, said in like that's like a new verb, a new descriptor. We are willing to steel toe it right here on the show.
We're trying to hit the goal. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're doing it live, all of that stuff. And thank you. Glad to be here and so excited to take us over to the world of local broadcasting.
Others imitate it. We appreciate it.
Eric, here on the show, we've established that you love your dogs. In fact, we can see one of them right now, which is kind of two of them representative of much of the audience napping through WATB. And there they are. So we have this after a snowstorm. Some local reporter caught up with a lovely young lady who, I don't know, I guess this is a future Mrs. Melendez. I'm not quite sure who she is, but let's see what she has to say. And we'll talk about where the dogs factor into this in a second.
It takes a lot of getting used to, but I'm here for it.
All right.
What?
Oh, and there
and
go the
if you're
dogs.
thinking about driving today, be prepared and
She's
stay
running
cautious
after her dog.
because it's
running after
pretty
the
heavy.
Oh, face plant right there.
She moves well for being so fluffy. I'll give her that. I mean, she had some real drive there, that leg power.
Well, I assume that the puppy had possibly grabbed an errant pork chop or something, and she realized that she needed to get her precious. But the interview part with this lady seemed to be live, and then they roll in this video of her falling on her face. And my question is, why be so mean? But also at the same time, kudos for being so mean. I loved seeing this lady fall on her face.
And she seemed to have a good demeanor about her. Like life hadn't chewed her up and spit her out yet. So they probably said, do you mind if we put this in there of you because fat chicks falling in the snow. I mean, that's not exactly if it bleeds, it leads, but still fat chick falling in the snow, it leads.
Which, by the way, tune in next week for a very special Who Are These Fat Chicks Falling in the Snow? We're going to do an entire show of fat chicks falling in the snow.
Yes.
Fat
chicks are amazing. I love fat chicks.
Wow.
In more ways than one, fat chicks really get it for me.
Look, I think we all have those moments in our lives where, the bigger the cushion, the sweeter the pushing, is the great Spinal Tap said. Well, look, this lady loves her dogs. Eric Zane loves his dogs, but this next story, which is one of these New York Post ones I'm going to have to read to you, it is possible to love your dogs a little too much. So a Penn State professor was busted for bestiality, but was also accused of some new cases in the local park. So Themis Matsoukis was charged with additional sex crimes. So he's already been charged with bestiality against his dog.
I remember when the first story broke some time ago about the bestiality, because I remember talking about it on my show, but it's gotten even more bizarre.
Yeah. So, that it's like, oh, well, what could be worse than that? Well, there's a few things that could be worse than that. And Professor Matsoukis videos. So this is really what it is he was already guilty of that. And I guess he had a deleted folder of some videos. But you know how, I don't know if you know this, Eric, but if you delete your folder, if you delete stuff to the deleted folder, you've got like 30 more days before they're actually gone.
Yeah, you got to clean that. You got to clean that.
Well, Professor Matsoukis did not. Video seized in a search warrant allegedly show the disgraced professor. This is already after they know he is guilty of bestiality. Masturbating on a picnic table, climbing a tree naked, all things that we do when we go to the park.
They didn't include the part. Okay, there it is. There's the part.
This is the part. This is the I was like, oh, I'm probably going to do this story. But then when we get to, he was also inserting a tree branch, a Tootsie Pop, and the controller handle of a John Deere crawler in his butt. And I have to say again, we love our audio audience. We're glad that people tune in just to listen to the show. But our video audience is being treated to see exactly what the control handle of a John Deere crawler in his butt would look like. And just looking from the handle, I think this might be the one he used. What do you think, Eric?
Absolutely is. And they had to take, it was probably, he saw the piece of machinery, went into it, and that was sticking up, and he just positioned his butt right over it. So they had to take that handle off and use it for evidence. Yeah. And who's the poor fuck that has to do that job?
I don't know, but he has given me an idea for the next time that I take the kids out to the farm. I might just, let my wife take the kids, and I got to go inspect some of the equipment.
Wait, what are you saying? Are you suggesting you're going to go stick one of these things up your asshole?
Well, I had never thought of it before, Eric. I have to see if it would fit. All right. I need to know.
What just happened?
The Tootsie Pop. Look, we all know that. That's nothing new. There's nothing out of the ordinary there. Tree branch is a little weird, but the John Deere crawler handle. So he's already facing sex with his pet collie, and he was put on leave. So he was put on leave from the university, which he's a professor at Penn State. And if there's one thing we know, Eric, Penn State doesn't fire anybody for anything.
Exactly. From the school that brought us the biggest child sex scandal since the Catholic Church. To them, they're like, well, all right, this isn't nearly as big of a problem as Jerry Sandusky.
Yeah, no. And I think this is a guy that, like, if Sandusky saw him coming down the hallway, he's like, oh, I got to go the other way. That guy's too.
Well, yeah.
For me.
How about the fact that he got busted first for the sex with the dog? Now, of all of this litany of problems this Matsoukis has, that's the big one. So, this actually worked out in his favor, because if you're going to get busted for something and the first thing they find out is John Deere controller up your ass, and then sex with an animal, he's been found out in the right order, because, the worst is already done.
Yeah, so this story didn't, look, I had to do some research on this story. Again, not because I'm planning an upcoming weekend, but very specifically, what he was found guilty of was having his dog eat treats out of his anus. So it's a very specific thing that he's into. So
Jesus, this guy, holy shit.
yeah.
And again, technology is his downfall. Had he not gotten the urge to record this material, he could still be having the dog eat shit out of his asshole and stick various farm equipment up his ass.
Yeah, it was like the terrible story we had a few weeks ago that was so terrible that we showed it anyway. But the guy who like stabbed his girlfriend, but he had the video on his phone of stabbing his girlfriend. So it was like, oh yeah, man. Look, we were drinking. It shit got crazy. Yeah, I guess so. I have to make sure there aren't any more gems in the story. Let's take a look before we move on. Oh, there he is.
Someone said he looks like evil Eric Zane. Dwyer Christian said he looks like evil me. So basically, can you like put me a little bigger and I could do the same look on his face?
Absolutely. Wait here. I'll help you out.
That's as best as I can do.
I think that's the best any of us can do. So thank you for that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so that's a fun story to start the day. I'm sure we all agree. Now, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's one more thing. The fact that he would go up to the picnic table and blow a big batch right on top of the thing. Can you imagine some little kid, and he sits down and like you put your fucking hand right in it or something like that? Or you start, what's that? What is that?
Oh, somebody spilled some potato salad. Let me mix it back into the rest of the bowl. That should probably be okay. Well, Eric, it is the month of February, and I think everybody who knows you is aware of why this is such an important time of year for you and your family, right? I mean, February is always very important in the Zane household, isn't it?
You're darn right. You took the words right out of my mouth, Chris.
Yeah, I know I did. And obviously it's because, as we all know, it's Black History Month. Now,
Yes.
I'm sure that you and your family, this year it'll be 29 days instead of the usual 28. You always have a special meal. You prepare a special menu.
Right.
And honestly, maybe, just maybe, it's the same menu as a middle school in Rockland County, New York, a town called Nyack, which I think all you need to know about the makeup of this school. This is about 20 minutes away from my high school. So it'll tell you a little bit that maybe somebody thought that this was the way to commemorate Black History Month.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got a look at the menu, but don't worry, the local news will be all over this.
Instead of Philly cheesesteak, broccoli, and fresh fruit, Aramark, the food service company that provides meals to the district, served chicken and waffles and watermelon.
I was questioning, because they don't usually give watermelon.
So chicken and waffles is apparently a regular on the menu. But the extra, the cherry on top, if it was actually the side of watermelon. And I don't know, this seems like it's right out of the Zane household menu, though.
Well, okay. I guess what I need to ask is, so she indicated that they never serve watermelon and they just happen to put it on for February. Is that right?
Right. Well, so I guess that, when the menu came out, it said that they were going to have Philly cheesesteaks that day, but then somebody got the idea of like, well, it's Black History Month. Let's go ahead and have a special meal. And because, so what this later still shows is that when they do have chicken and waffles, they usually serve it with fresh zucchini, baked beans, and banana, which, look, we'll get into the meat of this story. No pun intended. Sorry. But what happened to school lunches? Because when I went to school, there was neither chicken nor waffles.
No, you get some fucking Texas straw hat and a milk and a carton, and you throw half the shit anyway.
Right, exactly. But fresh zucchini. I mean, I don't think I even saw fresh zucchini until I was in college.
Yeah, this is bullshit. Everything about this is bullshit.
Let's see how it's being responded to.
Watermelon.
If they had served chicken and waffles by itself, I don't know that we would be having this conversation.
So for our audio audience, this gentleman is Wilbur Aldridge. He is a representative of the Nyack NAACP. Probably very busy this time of year
Oh, yeah.
throughout Rockland County.
But the moment you add in the watermelon, that changed the whole complexion, literally.
In a statement, Aramark apologized for the insensitivity, saying in part, while our menu was not intended as a cultural meal, we acknowledge that the timing was inappropriate and our team should have been more thoughtful in its service. But this isn't the first time Aramark found itself in hot water.
You hear that?
Yes,
So this
I've talked about a story similar to this over the years. I remember it seems like every year there's some fucking menu story at a school.
Well, the same food service company ran into a problem not too long ago at NYU.
Back in 2018, another racially insensitive meal was served at New York University during Black History Month. It included barbecued ribs, collard greens, cornbread, Kool-Aid, and watermelon-flavored water.
So they dialed it back this time. They were like, okay, well, you can't fucking put Kool-Aid out there. I mean, that's too much.
Why does it have to be that racism's so funny?
I don't know. I think
Holy
we've both appeared on as guests on a network that is built on that fundamental premise. And I don't mean this one, by the way.
It's so ridiculous. This is so. I mean, you're really torn because you don't want to be part of the problem, but at the same time, I wouldn't be able to say that with a straight face.
No, exactly.
That is so fucked up.
Yes,
God damn it.
It absolutely is, and I think that the idea that they got in trouble before. I mean, try to learn your lesson. And look, it's not worth playing. It's a fairly long clip, but I did want to show you the reporter who was covering the story. They cut to her live outside of the middle school, and just looking at that jacket, you have to imagine it blowing in the wind. I just felt like she looked like she was basically a high school girl giving birth next to a dumpster outside the middle school during the junior
right.
prom.
It has a very labia like a fuzzy labia appearance.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's quite a coat. And I feel like I always say this, when we show the people out there in the hurricane, at a certain point, the outfit becomes so ridiculous where, I don't know, maybe you just don't need to cover it. I mean, is it that simple?
Right. Right. My God.
Yeah. I'm sure that the chat really didn't find anything funny about that story. I know how they
love it. They love it.
Oh, really?
It's unbelievable belligerent racists that are in here. I mean, my God, every horrible low-hanging fruit stereotypical joke. I'm not giving these jokes the light of day. They're a bunch of fucking idiots.
All right, but what if somebody made a bad joke, but then also complimented your hair? You'd have to run with that, right?
Absolutely. Or put money onto it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I got to make sure. Okay. My headphones. Okay. There we go. That's what I want. All right. So, yeah, all you racists, I mean, I see your fucking shit on there. All right. All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put up one from Greater Good. Apologizing for soul food is wrong. No one hates fried chicken and watermelon. I do agree. This is basically what we're saying.
Yeah, I know.
And by the way, that NYU menu that had ribs,
you can't eat that shit in February, though. You can't. It's illegal.
Yeah.
You'll get shut down. You'll get canceled. And
by
this
the way,
month.
New policy on the show. If you only insult Eric, I'll do my best to try and put them up there. King of all dilfs. Zane is a hack. Cram it, Zane. And Dwyer Christian's trying to provide us with positive racism. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't recommend any of you eat those foods. You want to stay in the clear here. This is a very sensitive time that we're in.
It is sensitive. They're very divisive times. And you know what we like to do here on the show is we like to head back and remember the good times. And there is also a regular feature on the NBC affiliate somewhere in Oregon, Channel 8, as you can see. And they also like to look back on the good times.
But that's all the time we have.
Stuff.
Thanks so much for joining us on The Good Stuff tonight. We're going to leave you with a few more of your wonderful throwback photos. Thanks so much for sending them in.
So from happier times, the hippie days in the 70s, this is just some 70s
gently,
photo.
everybody. Have a great night.
My late husband sitting on Santa's lap. Thanks, Stu Peck, for getting that in there. That's a very sweet one. Oh, my gosh. We were up on the mountain with our dog. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Oh, sorry. What's this one?
Oh,
so,
no.
Shell Von Quiff says Boy Scouts in the 50s And I don't know how to describe this other than to say it's a very unfortunate photo that made it onto the local broadcast.
Yeah, like some 50s Klan rally, and but it's a carnival setting, and you throw like things, and you score points.
Yeah.
When the game is called Hit the N-word
Ninja.
Hit the ninja baby. Hit the ninja baby.
All right.
Hit
You gotta
the
be careful.
Kanega.
You got to be careful with the word ninja. So, yeah, by the way, this photo is the lock screen for Michael Richards, I think, on his iPhone. Yeah, allegedly, I think that's going around. And what do we have from Dave here?
Dave Sarah says, here's a $5 for a fellow Armenian, you goo. We all are.
Yeah. So, as you would imagine, Eric, a story like this makes it onto the news. It could only be followed up by one thing. And when I saw this, and our buddy Trucker Andy, who's been on a couple of times, obviously he does the Great All Apologies podcast.
Yes.
I only had a written apology, but as it turns out, they had to take to the airwaves. And look, something like that gets on the air. You can approach it a couple of different ways. One way is to be like, we have to apologize for something that you all saw. And maybe not say what it was, right, Eric? I mean, and sometimes a lot of those apologies, you're just like, Joy Reid was like, oh, you might have heard something you weren't supposed to.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. But they really go into specifics here, the gang over at KGW.
Okay. I'm anxious.
Good evening, everyone. I'm David Molko. We begin tonight with an apology. Last night, KGW inadvertently aired an offensive and racist photo. And for that, we are truly sorry. Ooh. The image appeared during our 7 p.m. show, The Good Stuff. We had invited viewers to submit photos to our social media accounts for a Throwback Thursday segment. One of those photos showed kids throwing balls at a sign that prominently displayed the N-word. The photo was automatically pulled from a comment on our Facebook page without anyone screening it. Here at KGW, we have a policy to screen all viewer-submitted photos.
So
hold on a second. You mean
go ahead.
So no one has eyes who has that job? I mean, it was bold. It was the biggest. It was prolifically visible at the top.
None of the other photos that we showed had words on them. So, this should have stood out. And I'm going to assume that it's probably like an intern's job to pull those off of Facebook. And they probably got college credit for putting this on.
Yes. They need to go so far as to say, this is the actual person who did it, and have their face and name and have the video of them being fired or beaten. You need to show that shit.
Yeah. Well, instead, they decided that they needed to reach out to the community.
But yesterday, we failed to follow that policy.
Sure did.
We deeply regret this mistake.
He doesn't mean a bit of that.
We understand this image hurt many of you, in particular our Black viewers and staff members. KGW is committed to being inclusive and compassionate.
Yeah, and also I'm surprised that he's not like, but did you see it? It was fucking funny.
Yeah, he needs to say, but not lost on me is how goddamn hilarious that is. Holy fucking shit.
We've engaged with Black community leaders and viewers to apologize directly and to explain the steps that we are taking to make sure this never happens again.
Oh, come on now.
We failed you in this instance, and we are sorry for that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so they bring on a pastor who, he's Yeah, so we'll get a little of him in here.
Today, Pastor Matt Hennessy with the Portland NAACP.
By the way, his name, you couldn't find a pastor whose last name wasn't Hennessy. I mean, you're really just turning into the skid right here. But okay, let's see what Pastor Hennessy has.
For some time on our air to address this issue. Here is Pastor Hennessy.
It's really saddened a number of us. Number one,
Uncle
that
Phil
a person
from Fresh Prince
decided that one of their best memories had to do with something that's so disparaging to Black people, and using a word that has really unfortunate kind of impact.
So the pastor comes on and he talks for a while, and even on this show, we won't show the whole thing, but of course, I don't live in Oregon, so I watch this on the channel's YouTube channel, and I think that the ending of it, it's just very funny how it progresses.
We appreciate the pastor sharing those comments. On behalf of all of us at KGW, we want to let you know we do not tolerate hate or racism of any kind. Again, we apologize and we pledge to do better.
And this apology is brought to you by Safeway. So happy to be right here at the forefront of Black History Month.
Holy shit. My God. Now look at this. Look at this asshole. Saul writes, the guy who thinks racism is funny is calling us racist. You asshole. It's all a goddamn joke. Get the fuck over yourself, you stupid fuck.
And Ozymandias, where did Ozymandias go? He was it was Pastor Watermelon was too busy. Ozymandias, we don't stand for that kind of talk here on this show. What show do you think this is?
You racist assholes. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Jesus Christ.
Oh, well,
what a fiasco that is. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I just don't know how. This is part of that whole phenomena. Just like Captain We Too Low, Bang Ding Ow. How does that, that moment that we've talked about on the show, Something Wong, We Too Low, the whole plane thing. How do these moments get onto the air? They almost should do like a Venn diagram of how it took place. Well, this person gave it to this person who then posted it here. I need like a documentary on how that happened.
Oh yeah, no. I think that we need the entire team on there.
Oh.
Well, I think that we should probably move on from racial insensitivity and non-sensitivity. Whatever.
Did you say racial? You said racial.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Well, it's all right. It's racial and it's racial. We'll just move on to a story that doesn't have an apology, and it just focuses on some mishap at the zoo. And our friend Hackride sent this to me overnight. I would never have seen this, and it is one of those ones where somebody filmed their TV screen, so it's not the best clip. But when we show a clip that somebody filmed off the TV screen, you usually know, okay, it's probably going to be worth it.
Okay.
Earlier this week, when 2 monkeys from the Dallas Zoo disappeared. But there is good news. The Emperor Tamarin monkeys were that obviously is not a picture that.
No! They do bring up an African American gentleman, and it. Look, I'm not going to rule out that this might be the suspect in the case, but I also feel like they brought up the wrong picture. But Eric, this is one of those really unfortunate moments, but I feel like this guy
Dallas Zoo disappeared
on Mooney.
But there is good news. The Emperor Tamarin monkeys were that obviously is not a picture that we expected up there. We have a zoo story we're telling here, and apparently these monkeys vanished from the zoo, and now the suspected thief has also been found. Police say 24-year-old.
Okay, that's
okay. We're going to step out of the story right now.
Oh,
I don't know that I've ever heard that before. You know what? We're just gonna push the ejection button. We're definitely gonna get out of here.
Holy shit! That's the type of thing where when you're in the newsroom after the dust settles, say, all right, going forward, we are no longer doing any stories about monkeys. Like if there's a Planet of the Apes moment in the city, we're not covering it.
We're not going to cover it.
We're ignoring that. There is no more, because you guys are fucking assholes. All you people in the newsroom are a pile of shit. No more monkey stories going forward.
Wait, why did you put up this comment from Scotty Jones? Eric, that's terrible. I'm not even going to read that. I can't believe you put that on the screen. Eric,
my hands were not even on
You're
the mouth.
incorrigible.
You sick fuck. My hands were here. God damn you.
Well, as always, thank you to our buddy Hackride for bringing that our way. And if anybody's on that beat, it's Hackride. I'm excited to introduce a new segment here on the show. And I think that when you rip something off, we call it an homage to a segment from a favorite cult classic movie that I used to see a lot as a kid. So our new segment, here's a little intro for you.
Extraterrestrials, strange phenomena, missing persons, lost continents, myths, and monsters.
We examine these mysteries to determine, are they bullshit or not?
Yes, indeed. Welcome to our first ever installment of Bullshit or Not, as featured in the classic Amazon Women on the Moon, a very underappreciated film from a bygone era. And our first entry is a video that a lot of people have seen. Eric, I know that you witnessed it when you were on WATP over the weekend. A lot of people have seen this, and I think it's the perfect video for our first installment of Bullshit or Not. Let's take a look. Obviously, a lot of people have seen Howie
Dana
Mandel's
White,
podcast.
You are
has
an
Dana White on.
amazing guy. You are. I can't thank you enough for being here. You and Ginger seem to be getting along. You are not only an amazing businessman, you are an inspiration. You are a philosopher. The way you do business, the way you conduct your business and your friendships and media is. I'm jealous. But Dana, I can't thank you enough for being here.
And thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate it. I am so fucking tired of doing podcasts. I'm literally done with them. I'm not doing any more podcasts.
All right. So he pushes the microphone away, takes off the headphones, and he walks out past Howie Mandel, who has a cat behind him for some reason. There's the real guest.
Who's that guy?
They said his name Ginger somebody.
Okay, whatever.
So, yeah. Looks like Justin
We
Turner from the
have
Dodgers.
an illustrious guest.
Okay.
So, all right. So for our initial installment of Bullshit or Not, I have to ask you first, Easy. Is that bullshit or not? What do you think about that?
Knowing that none of us would even have had an idea that Howie Mandel had a podcast, let alone paid attention to it.
Yeah.
Now we are aware. Absolutely bullshit. Easy. It's a work. You know, there's a lot of Dana White knows a little bit about theatrics and things like that. This is 1,000,000% fake, in my opinion. Bullshit.
Yeah, I have to agree. This is absolutely bullshit. And it's the camera moves are too tight. And I don't know anything about his podcast, but I assume he usually only has one guest on. You know, and this was just like Dana White was in the building and he's like, oh, let's do a thing. And he's like, I don't have time for an interview. Like, all right, I'm Howie Mandel. I do a lot of pranks. Don't worry. I've got the perfect bit. And, kudos to Dana White for playing along. Yeah, Greater Good has a great insight. Howie gushing, the intro was just so over the top.
Yeah.
Dave Sarah, good to see you, Dave Sarah. I've seen you over there on the Discord. Yeah, this is so fucking fake. So I'm inclined to agree that we have our answer for our first Bullshit or Not. It is indeed actually bullshit.
Absolutely. And that was perfect. I like how you pointed out about the gushing. The Greater Good pointed that out. And my alarms were going off right then because he was so over the fucking top. I mean, who the fuck talks like that? And then when he walked out, he also didn't do a very good job. Dana, because who goes, hey, I appreciate it, but fuck you. You know, no one does that. And it was so out of the blue.
Anybody who's, done an in-studio show knows that you have to sit down. There's a few minutes. Last looks, as they say. You check the lights. You make sure the audio's fine. So he sat through a lot of bullshit just to do that. So, yes. Yeah. So that's one for the bullshit category. Our next entry was shared by Nick DiPaolo. So I'm leaning in a direction that perhaps this is where I saw it. I guess Nick DiPaolo had a clip from his show, but then I found the real clip. And we're just going to play it and see what you think. It is, it's from a soccer game somewhere in the world where they enjoy soccer. It doesn't really matter. Okay, guys on the field. And there's a lightning strike. And he falls down. And everybody does run over to him to see how he's doing. So again, it's somebody filmed their TV screen. And there's a lightning strike onto the field. So, Eric, let me ask you once again what you think about the lightning strike there.
I never once for a second in the times that I've reviewed that, both on my show and showing it to people, did I think that was fake.
Oh, okay.
But that's because probably I was so shocked and someone told me it was real.
Yeah.
But now that you mention it, it probably was fake.
Probably fake. Yeah. All right. So we're 2 for 2. Although Jerry says that shit's totally real. We'll see.
There were very little published reports about it. There were a couple, but they were all on ones that, like, I was getting all these warnings from my what do you call it? My virus protection saying, don't look at this. You know, with shit like that.
It was one of those ones that had that sensitivity filter. It's like this video might be disturbing, which of course, you know, I always say yes to those. All right. Well, our final entry today is going to look familiar to you, Eric, but I promise you it is not the same clip that you saw. You saw a very similar clip on WATP this weekend. I was a little disappointed that clip and the Dana White one were both on, but this one is different. And you tell me if this is
if I could, nobody watches that. They only watch us these days. So no one saw it. No one saw it if it was on WATP.
Eventually it's going to be Who Are These Podcasts on the Who Are These Broadcasters network.
Exactly. We've already taken it over.
Exactly. So let's take a look at this one.
Hold on. Let me just take some of my Klonopin.
Okay. A broadcaster needs his Klonopin. All right.
Gotta
pop a couple of those in there.
Hold on. How about some Torvastatin?
Okay, Torvastatin. I don't know what any of these drugs are, by the way. I don't recommend that the kids in our audience try them out. You only took one. All right. Still going. What do we got here? Whatever he's claiming it is probably Viagra. Oh, almost fell out of your mouth there, Johnny. And then he tilts down and has yeah, that is possibly mucus on the table. I think Carl showed this a different time. All right. And then just chugging a water like he's doing a keg stand.
Okay, thanks. So
yeah. And Dwyer Christian chimes in with Q25 beers next. So in the way that it's similar to a clip that you guys played on WATP, this is performative, John. You know, in that one, he was pretending he didn't know the camera was on, but he was also like, oh, I'm going to give Christian and Zane something to show. Look at me taking all of my fucking medication.
Am I voting? Am I voting again?
Yeah, please vote.
That is real, 100% real. John does. I believe that he does take all those medicines.
Oh no, I do think he does. Okay. But
why he's taking them on there? Is that because he thought the camera was not on?
Yeah. No. That was a different clip. That's the difference between this clip and the other one. He's just like, hey, hang on a second. And I was just watching it, and I messaged it to Carl. I'm like, he's putting us on, right? Like, he's just doing all this for show. Like, he probably takes all that medication during the course of a day, but he's like, you know, what'd be funny is if I chug them out of the pill bottles. And I know the last few weeks we've been really veering away from our no dabble zone.
That's
policy,
all right.
but,
That's all right. It feels right though. It's worth discussing. And I don't mind it at all. I think that John, this is what I think. My theory is John thinks that people are interested and almost impressed that he takes so much medicine. And I know that sounds crazy, but I think that guy is so fucked up. He's 3 years older than I am. Look at him and look at me. Holy fuck. He looks like he's 90.
Yeah. I know. It's when I think what is he, 58 or 59, whatever he is.
Yeah.
I was like, you're kidding. That's it. He's not anywhere near as old as I thought he was. So I think people in the chat seem to think it's real. I guess it's just like he's doing it for show. And I'm not going to show the whole clip again. You wanted to talk about the specimen that John Melendez provides. He doesn't look healthy. Yeah. There's a great comment from Dwyer Christian. Eric is a stud beside John. I think that's it.
I know that. I know
we all know
everybody knows that.
All right, so we're going 2 bullshits and 1, I guess not. We're going to say that John Melendez really did take all of that on camera. Verdict's still out on the lightning bolt one. Officer Kunspy howling. Eric, look at me, Zane.
Oh, you're goddamn right. You're goddamn right.
All right, well, let's keep the fun going and head over to politics.
A lot of people talking about Christian and Carl's segment, making it great with who are these politics?
So this is one of those ones that I'll have to read the translation. But Vladimir Putin, fresh off a very busy week where he quite publicly thinned out his enemies list, he's still talking about how disappointed he was in the interview with Tucker Carlson. And he says, so speaking frankly, I did not get full satisfaction out of this interview. It's a much longer clip. And yes, it's in Russian. But that's the takeaway. But despite that, our buddy Tucker, he just sees Vlad and he's just like, Vladimir, I can't quit you. So he's keeping it going, you know, the feel-good train. And I believe that this is a video of Tucker auditioning for the Russian version of Supermarket Sweep. And he heads to a supermarket there, I believe, in Moscow.
So we were guessing what this would cost. Everybody hears from the United States buys groceries, and we didn't pay any attention to costs as we were just putting in the cart what we would actually eat over a week. And we all came in around $400, about $400 bucks.
Thought it would be $400.
It was $104 US here. And that's when you start to realize that ideology maybe doesn't matter as much as you thought, corruption. If you take people's standard of living and you tank it through filth and crime and inflation, and they literally can't buy the groceries they want, at that point, maybe it matters less what you say or whether you're a good person or a bad person. You're wrecking people's lives in their country, and that's what our leaders have done to us.
So he had to go to Russia to illustrate that? He had to go, and he actually had to go to the goddamn checkout line to put a finer point on that?
Yeah, and he makes a proclamation here where I'm like, this video must be from 10 years ago.
And seeing what things cost and how people live, it will radicalize you against our leaders. That's how I feel anyway, radicalized.
Now, so Tucker Carlson has been radicalized, and I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah,
Eric?
no, I was just going to say, he's like, oh, now let's go eat some Russian cereal.
Yeah. And look, by the nature of playing that clip, it's already becomes political. I just felt like it was worth pointing out that the average Russian salary is 12% of the average U.S. salary. So it might not be a fair comparison. And I'm just going to assume he filmed that before the interview, before he got cucked by Putin on his own live stream, you know, but just,
you know, he has, he can, you know, veto anything. Somebody suggested to him to do that, and he had to say, that is a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's fly to the Russian grocery store and buy some shit.
Well, a frequent interviewee of Tucker Carlson, former President Donald Trump, is riding high with huge successes and popularity with every single room that he walks into, except for maybe a courtroom. And we also find that maybe the whole Trump thing is, well, maybe it's getting pretty close to jumping the shark. And I knew you were going to hate this, so I decided that I'm going to ask, has he trumped the shark? Yeah, I know, it's terrible. That's why I said it. Yeah. I knew how much that was going to annoy you.
I never have thought that, though. That's, you know, yes, it's shit, but it's fresh. It's fresh shit.
By the way, that is the slogan for who are these broadcasters. Yes, it's shit, but it's fresh shit.
Yes.
So anyway, the you know, just pulling on this thread that maybe the whole Trump thing is you know, overextending itself. Let's take a look at a local news piece for somewhere that he appeared over the weekend.
Gold sneakers in front of a screen that showed a web address for Trump sneakers. On that site, sneakers were selling for $199 to $399, and there was also
so this
Trump-themed
appearance was at SneakerCon. Which, you know, I'm sure that Eric, whenever it's in the Detroit area, you always make sure to head out to SneakerCon. But Trump was hawking his new Trump shoes, which for whatever reason they go between $199 and $399. I feel like these are the $399
cologne for sale. Now, Trump today, talking about the sneaker line, said he had wanted to do this for years.
Yeah, so for years he's wanted. You know, I feel like he's kind of borrowing from the playbook of a former Celebrity Apprentice guest or competitor, the great Gene Simmons.
I was going to say,
always come out with a shitty product and be like, yeah, we've always wanted to give you Kiss guitar strings, which, by the way, are an empty Ziploc bag. They're air guitar strings.
Oh my God. It never ceases to amaze me. You just slap somebody's name on it. He's one of them. Gene Simmons,
Yeah.
Trump more so, Trump steaks, Trump ties, Trump University, Trump this. Doesn't matter. To him, in my opinion, this is all a game.
Yeah.
And he's just enjoying himself through this entire process.
Nobody's having more
It's
fun.
always been a game.
Yeah, that news story didn't capture his reception at SneakerCon, so I feel like it's my duty to share that a video where look, he plays it off really well.
Look at you with the Trump 2024. Thank you, darling. I love you too. Wow.
By the way, I didn't even realize this is an entry for bullshit or not. Do you think there is actually someone in the front row wearing a Trump 2024 hat that he's talking
Yes.
to?
Oh,
Okay.
without a
Okay.
doubt. Without a doubt.
All right. I just was
Many
wondering
of
if it was a
them.
real person. All right.
Many of them.
A lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion in this room. Thank you.
He's getting some booze, too.
Thank you.
A lot of booze. By the way, maybe I didn't make it clear. This is in Philadelphia. So it's not in Pittsburgh. It's not in Harrisburg. You know, it's not the red part of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So the really nice thing is we have lines, and I want to thank Chase and I want to thank Alan, but we have lines going all around the block. They're going all around this block. They've never seen anything like this one.
That's a mixed crowd.
It's a very mixed crowd, but the boos were so vocal it made me laugh because, look, long before he was president, people would boo when he showed up, and he plays it off. Oh, there's a lot of emotion here today. I'm like, yes, there is. there's maybe some people who aren't fans, as we can say. All right, well, we had fun dipping our toe into the political waters for a minute, but let's go to America's favorite segment. Who are these sportscasters?
Home of the hourly triple play.
W-A-T-P. Who are these sportscasters? Just listen and find out. Who are these sportscasters?
Well, at some point, we're going to stop having videos like this, but I do have one. Dwyer Christian, they refuse to talk about Bloody Biden.
No.
I mean, I just want a clip where it's not quite the same. We played a bunch of clips last week where he was mouthing off the reporters.
You can't say that. Dwyer has seen every episode of this show.
Yeah.
And if there's something fun to talk about, absolutely. Okay.
Look.
You can't swing that big hammer on us. We love when that stupid, what do you want me to do? Say he's a stupid old fucking guilty crook? Okay.
Great.
He is. I agree with you, you asshole. But there's nothing funny currently.
Dwyer Christian, one of us is under a time crunch today who has a job that he actually likes to get to. So, I got to keep the show moving. But
knock it off and send some money too, you fuck.
Yeah, that's right. No more free comments on the show from Dwyer Christian. He's got to start paying if he wants to be on.
Yeah, you bastard.
So, in any case, we have a clip that highlights America's couple, Travis and Taylor. This is right after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and they celebrate exactly the same way any of us do, where like any of us dancing with Our Lady, she's going to dance and mouth the words to her multi-platinum #1 single that's playing there at a bar. Who doesn't love that? There's a DJ with a bucket on his head, you know, and Travis Kelce's got what can only be described as meat hooks all over her.
Right.
You know?
Now, is this like 15 minutes after they started spraying blood off the sidewalk?
No, those are different clips. So this is still in Vegas. This is right after. So this next clip is sort of the event you're talking about. This is earlier in the event. And look, as funny as those clips are, maybe we'll save them for next week, Eric, the aftermath of the Chiefs parade. We've got fun clips from the Chiefs parade because maybe people saw that and they're like, oh, fuck Travis Kelce. I'm so tired of him. But I think that, look, this would be a political ad. I'm Travis Kelce, and I approve this message. I feel like this is basically his campaign.
If you
commercial.
know this song, sing along. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in booze and ruined the Niners affair.
He changed the lyric to say Niners. He's reading off his phone.
Oh, no.
We were the last one to show.
He's being held up.
Yeah, Mahomes is really... I believe that's a horse collar.
And I saw the surprise, that fear in their eyes. And when he took that glass of champagne, Pat took that glass of champagne, I promise you.
Yeah. Pat's like, Patrick Mahomes is like, oh, come on.
And I toasted
Get
you.
me out of this.
Honey, we through what I never.
Oh.
What?
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, he cuts to the chorus.
Yeah. And so Mahomes grabs the mic. But then Mahomes gets it back.
Oh,
And,
he is fucked.
I have a closer angle on that. And for two reasons, I was able to split as much of the music out of it as I could in this other clip. And the reasons are twofold. One, I don't want to get a strike from the Garth Brooks people. And then also, it's way funnier to hear Travis Kelce when you don't hear the music behind him. Yeah, it's a little lower because of taking some audio out.
Okay.
But
Okay.
they're all holding him up. They're all trying to get the microphone away from him. And then they're just like dancing, but he's like, he won't stop.
Wow.
It's like a trust fall exercise.
Yeah,
And
it is.
Look, I think I might maybe had some mixed feelings on Travis Kelce during the last season, but that guy, I love that guy. That guy's the new Gronk. He's the hero that we need.
He
Go ahead and
is. He
read that
is.
comment.
This is great. Officer Cunsby Howland throws in this bomb. So this is the cause of the shooting. Well, that's not known. I don't know. You'd have to talk to the kids that did the shooting, but that's very possible.
Yeah, but I do believe that they saw this and was like, all right, someone has to act. Someone has to stop.
Yes, we need to put a stop to this right away.
Yeah. So speaking of Super Bowl disasters, this is a clip that has made the rounds in the last couple weeks, and I'm just taking a segment of it. It's a clip of the Pat McAfee show, which, boy, we play a lot of clips from the Pat McAfee show on here. And watching the clip, how annoyed Texans QB CJ Stroud is. He's just there, just trying to, promote an energy drink or something. And there's way longer versions of this clip, but the interview is broken up by two of probably the funniest humans on the planet, Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. And this is about, 2.5 minutes in, but our clip, it doesn't take a moment.
I got a good 3.5.
How many push-ups?
3.5.
He's doubting you.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Hey, have you ever seen a clip of Bert Kreischer, Eric, where he took his shirt off?
It's this thing, man.
Yeah,
it's this thing. Jesus.
All right. And so he's like, all right, let's see how many.
Okay.
CJ
3. Hold up, Bert. What is an accurate over under?
Wait,
what is a proper
24.5?
No, what's a proper expectation? What?
By the way, this happened at 11 a.m. on a Thursday. And the earlier clip really highlights just how shit-faced Bert is, which, there's not a lot of clips where Bert's like, oh, he's like stone cold sober. But I mean, time and place. They've got some shitty vodka they're promoting, but if they wanted us to promote, I'd absolutely talk about how great it is.
40?
But anyway,
They got to be full.
all right.
Okay, so
He's
we're
gonna
gonna
get down.
AJ's calling. He's going to give you range notes.
What is going on?
Yeah. So he's like, I
CJ?
can
You got
do
a
it.
strong hamster about to do push-ups.
CJ, listen. None of us know what's going on.
Come on, let's see how
Including
many
me.
you do.
And I walked in with him.
40?
Yeah. All right.
All right. You count it. AJ,
And
come
then-
on.
Yeah, locked
Because
out.
this is his
go.
thing.
Yep.
He has
He's
no
on push-ups.
problem.
Wait, is he on his knees?
You can see his
We're
horse.
going. Come on.
Where's he at right now?
Yeah, I don't know if these are the,
Those
these
girl
are,
push-ups?
I was gonna say, I don't know if these are man push-ups.
Those are
But,
not. No, he's on his knees.
Yeah, but he's getting a number, but he's getting a significant number. But yeah, those are not man push-ups as we used to.
9. That's 40.
Sure.
He said he did 40, but for our video audience, I don't know.
He's been going since early.
CJ, this is your fault.
Nah, it stinks in here now.
His wife?
Fired up.
He said
What a
3.
bunch of meatheads. What a pile of shit show.
Yeah, but I mean, look, have you ever done anything from a radio row?
Yes, I have actually.
And even if it's not the Super Bowl, there are usually a shit show. You've got people that are just like, oh my God, I got this guy for like 4 minutes. Can he come on the stage now? I'm like, well, I'm talking to somebody else. But I can understand Pat McAfee and the producer being like, oh, yeah, let's let these comedians on. But not realizing that it was going to derail the interview with, a pretty good guest, the Texans QB.
We used to, so we were actually at the Super Bowl radio row, and we had our producer he knew nothing about sports. So we would put a mic on him. We'd say, okay, go up to and ask John Elway if he would be on our show, because they're just wandering around. Hey, John Elway, can you come on our show? Except it was Dan Marino. So we don't tell him that.
Oh, that's great.
You get Dan Marino, he is a surly motherfucker. And so you do that shit, and that's what we did. We would try to make it awkward with a goal of like actually trying to get kicked out. There was one time Marcus Allen sat down next to us, and our one of the guys on my show, he started to talk about his career, but he worded it in kind of a weird way. I remember it, that he thought that the guy was going to talk about his affair with Nicole Simpson, which was really strange. But he wasn't. I swear to God, he wasn't. And so did he. But Alan took it as, you're going to ask me about my affair with Nicole Simpson. And oh my God, it was so fucking awkward. You couldn't cut. He stormed away. He walked away. You're like, oh no, my God.
So, I assume that's probably a clip I might be able to find if I dug hard. Okay. I definitely want that. I've got a future broadcasting Hall of Fame there.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, we got to turn the page on the Super Bowl. Enough already. Obviously, it was NBA All-Star Weekend. We have exactly one clip from that because it made me laugh the way that Steph Curry is a professional. He's unflappable. And yes, bad pun coming, also unflushable.
I have it with, the new floor, and there's like 40,000 fans out here and people using the bathroom.
Did the toilet flush not come out as well as I thought it did?
40,000 fans out here.
So while he's talking, somebody behind him flushes the toilet.
Oh.
New floor, and there's like 40,000 fans out here and
there
it is.
using the bathroom.
He just makes a joke. He's like, yeah, you got somebody using the bathroom. So I like it. When somebody doesn't get all messed up, how would Steph Curry handle it if he was doing a story about a monkey breaking out in the zoo and they put out the wrong photo? Could he roll with that like a professional?
I have to ask the opinion of people in the chat.
Yes,
because
please.
There's one sweet soul who's trying to get under our skin, and now people are telling that person to stop spamming. So I need people in the chat to vote. Do I ban Mother Tucker 666?
Mother Tucker, Tucker's been in there before.
Yeah,
and,
I don't like to dispatch bans, but I need to hear this from the 63 people who are enjoying the show. Do you prefer that I ban? Now, banning's serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have to go through the process of signing up for a different YouTube account so that they can get back in. That's a huge hassle.
It's not up to me. It's up to the audience.
Well, I'll let the audience decide. Obviously, Eric Zane is judge, jury, and executioner on this show, and that's always the way we've had it. We've got one more proper clip here. This is from Uncle Christian in the Discord. This is footage from this year's Atherstone Ball, which is a yearly ritual in the UK. I did have to read about this. So take a look at just some, crazy footage. So you've got a guy at the top of a crowd of people. He's punching, he's kicking. And, the guy in orange pants is always the one that you have to worry about. So... yeah, and you've got people trying to basically, this event is trying to protect a ball. So the winner of this gets a ball. So these guys are protecting it. Shirts are getting ripped.
Okay, wait a minute. This is actually an event. There's a ball behind that dude.
Yeah, I think behind that door. So he's got his team that's like helping him protect, but then you have people who are like, and I don't think there's a very good prize in here. Uncle Christian didn't really go into specifics. And, I did look it up just to understand a little bit about it, but, the amount of research is about a minute. And I mean, they're just going to town.
It's like King of the Hill.
Yeah, exactly. And, you've got so many ripped shirts, people trying to get on top, and there's just the amount of fist fighting. And
I love it. What
yeah.
a great. Oh, look at it. Come in from the top like the Avengers. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And before anybody says, no, this isn't the UK version of January 6th. Okay. I don't need that kind of comments on here.
That's
so
it. They love it. They're all
sound
friends.
the horn, and they have a winner. So basically, this is like running of the bulls without the
with
bulls,
people.
You know?
Oh
it's
yeah,
with people. Instead.
This is awesome. We need this. This needs to be commercialized. This needs to be a sport. I mean, we have MMA. Why not?
How much would you pay for a pay-per-view of the Atherstone Ball?
I love the Atherstone Ball. Never heard of it until today, and I want in, man. Oh.
Well, I want to make sure that we give Easy enough time to prepare for the next part of his day. But we have one more clip from a Broadcasting Hall of Fame. We have this moment in broadcasting history.
Flashback.
WATB.
Way back into time.
Let's find out who are these broadcast histories.
And our buddy Liam McEnany brought this to my attention. And it is from a McDonald's instructional video that was shown to employees in 1983, showing them, introducing them to the Chicken McNuggets and explaining the different varieties. Prior to this, a nugget had jumped into a vat of barbecue sauce and he turned into a cowboy. But if you know McDonald's Chicken McNuggets, there are other varieties of sauce.
Sauces that'll take you on a trip from the Wild West to the Far East. Mikado?
Thank you, McNuggets and sweet and sour sauce. Now here to please McDonald's friends. There's the ham again.
It's called Godzilla.
Hey, fantastic. Sweet and sour sauce. All right.
Well, I got a sauce here.
I'm sure it can't get
turn
worse.
old Sam into a samurai.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah, it's. I love looking at those through the lens of now because no one, even the Asians weren't even pissed off at that shit. They don't care. They're like, yeah, that's what we talk about. That's what we talk like. Nowadays, you can't do that shit.
Yeah, right, exactly. And as we wind down here, by the way, it looks like Dave Sarah is going to be the winner with two $5 super chats, which we appreciate. And I think the lesson learned here is noon Eastern is not WATB country, but we're happy with everybody who did join us for what I thought was a really fun show.
They always are. They always are. That's why it's the cornerstone of Who Are These Podcasts. It's even more popular than Who Are These Podcasts.
I agree wholeheartedly. This is the only show on the network where you can say 0 of the hosts have frosted tips.
Right.
And we've been saying it for months, but now it's actually true.
Yes.
No hosts on this show have frosted tips. So in case of that, Eric, I want to make sure you take a moment to tell everybody where they can find you and your wares, as it were.
Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time on Twitch. Okay. Find me on Twitch. Just search Eric Zane Live, all one word. I will go live, including appearances from Mother Tucker 666, who will show up and probably talk shit about your old pal Easy. Find me on Twitch.
And please head over to whoarethese.com. You can get the phone number, leave a voicemail. If you do, please say that it's for WATB and sign up for the Patreon. And you know what? I'm tired of telling you guys to only spend $5. For the love of God, become a Kazaroo or a rubber dick. All right. Spend some real money. Look at all the content that you get from this network. And you know me, blah, 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 Blackcast, blah, 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 Christian DMZ. But I have something very important to plug. You can't see it yet because I haven't recorded it yet, but I'm very excited to announce that tomorrow I'll be recording a very high profile guest appearance. I will be on Topic Time with Harrison Young Jr. Throughout cable access throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I am very excited. I will let you know when we have an air date. Dang Lizard came in at the last second with a pretty great super chat. So we will close with this. I'll let you know. Well, I'll let you know that this is Christian Bladt reminding you that every mic is a hot mic. And I, Christian Bladt, want to apologize to my wife. But is it cheating if the girl is unwilling?
Oh.
See you next Tuesday at the regular time, everybody.